Notts County Talk match reaction. Notts have lost again, this time 2-0 at home to Wimbledon. What do you reckon?
You know what? Leading up to their goal, I thought the performance was better than what we've seen. Quite a lot of changes in there that I probably going into the game wasn't that confident about.
Yeah.
It's sort of Slocum, maybe Chickson because he's not seen too much game time, and obviously Didzy wasn't starting as well. So a few concerns going into the game, but I thought the performance was all right. But I mean, we've lost again, and that's the bottom line, isn't it? We've lost again. As soon as a few subs are made, I think Baldwin went off and Jim went off. We concede straight away. Whether or not that has any correlation, I'm not really sure. But the problems are going to persist because it's the same problems. You know, we need a bit of an overhaul. I think it's quite clear that I think probably not most, but some of the team they're just not good enough. There's lapses in concentration. It's frustrating to watch, to be honest with you. That last 15-20 minutes, it's dejecting. It's one of them where it sort of ruins your weekend a little bit. You know, you're going in, it's a fresh start, about 2 weeks since our last game, and we're just hit with sort of the same result.
Positives were, look, let's go for the positives. We didn't concede early. We created a fair few chances. Maka missed an absolute sitter at 0-0. I don't know whether their play got in the way. You know, we did look a lot better, and then you can want or think a manager needs to go whilst also still feeling they've been hard done by. I mean, we missed chance after chance, happened in the Wrexham game, and then today Rollo puts it in his own net. And what must Maynard be thinking? I was there saying to you, wasn't I, about 70 minutes in, like, he must be desperate for us to get a goal, because this performance probably did deserve as just to nick a win. I do think it deserved just about to nick a win. I don't think they really did anything other than 2 efforts in the first half.
Yeah.
And I do think we of recent games, we did play so much better. But I agree with you. We haven't won.
Yeah.
We've lost again. And football is, and it's a massive cliche, it's a results business. It's either 5 losses in 6 or 6 losses in 7, whatever it is. You know, I've said it last week, we're lucky we started the season well, because we'll be back in the National League.
Yeah, we are. We're struggling. And that's the frustrating thing, because you were seeing it and the performances are there. But then there's just them lapses where we just look, you know, miles off it. And I think today, if today was at the start of his, you know, Maynard's time at Notts, I think you'd probably be thinking, you know, look, we looked all right. You know, we didn't concede until late on in the game. You know, the defence were looking a little bit better. We controlled the ball very well. But it's not. And it's another one where we've had the performance and the result's not sort of been there. Is that Maynard's fault? I think, I'm not sure. I think a lot of what we've seen has been individual error. And there's only so much Maynard can do. Yeah, and I sort of agree with what Tom's saying. It's like, you can think a manager, you know, can be hard done by and still think that he needs to go. Yeah.
Do you think he should go?
Not quite. Yeah.
What if we lose at Crawley on Tuesday, which is feasible?
Yeah, I think if we lose our next game, I think for me, that's got, I don't know, it has to be the line for me.
There's a big discussion which you were sort of saying to me in the second half after they got their second goal. The owners took their time. They took nearly 2 weeks to get this right. So it's going to be big for them to admit that if Maynard doesn't turn it around, which, I mean, we're talking about one game now, then he's got to go. Like, how are they going to do that? Because
we've never seen them in this position. We've never seen Notts in this position under this ownership, where they've bought in their own manager and then had to get rid of him because, you know, every manager that Notts have appointed have been sniped by other clubs and, you know, gone higher up the pyramid. At the minute, it's bad. I think if you look at performances at the start of the season, it was probably, you know, we were scoring goals, but we were conceding a lot. We tried to, like, harden the defence a little bit, and, you know, now we've stopped.
Yeah. We've
stopped scoring, but we're still conceding. So
I think
the problems were there. I think the problems were already there, but they're worsening. I think it's difficult, really. It's difficult because what frustrates me is the keeping situation. Like Tom made a good point. It's 8 games in and we've had all 3 keepers play.
But don't you think that shows that the problems are so much deeper rooted than Maynard? Like, you can want Maynard out and you can think he's not the right man, but the problems are so much deeper rooted. We've got a player that's cost us, is it 150 grand? 125 grand on the bench that didn't come on.
Doesn't make sense to me.
They didn't come on.
It's early days for him, isn't it? It is early days for him, but that just doesn't make sense for me. Spending that much money on a player and he's sitting on the bench when
we need a goal.
We need a goalkeeper. We needed a goal today, but for me, we needed a goalkeeper. You know, in January we should have gone all out and done that and spent that money there, because it's clear as day that's what we need. And I'm worried for the rest of the season now, because after today I just think that's it. I think the playoffs is out of the picture. I really do. Even if we somehow pulled the wins together and scrape the playoffs, we'd get battered in the playoffs. We've got no grit. We've got no rough underbelly. We're just nice. We're just easy. It's
let us cross the ball from deep.
Frustrating.
Let us just put it over the head of Maka. Putting the balls in the box and Jatta's on the bench. Like I said, and you said on Thursday night on the podcast, you said about a goalkeeper, and I thought, it's not a massive issue. It is an issue, because you can't be going. I mean, I didn't think Slocum will play today, did you?
Never.
And we know the issues of every keeper. And before the game, I was speaking to my dad, who sits in the Pavis, and he said, you put all 3 of those keepers together and their best points, and you've got a half-decent keeper. And I was thinking to myself, you put all the best points of 3 goalkeepers together and you've got a half-decent keeper. It's not good enough. We know that, you look at Slocum, for example. I'm not saying that the goals were massively his fault today, but we always know that from crosses, he doesn't necessarily come and claim it. What they do, they put a ball in, back stick, and you can probably hear the Wimbledon fans in the background celebrating. Pretty funny, actually.
I don't know what's going on.
I have no idea what's going on. But he didn't come and claim the cross from the corner, and they've scored. And should he have done better? I don't know. With the first goal, that's a massive issue for me. Huge issue. We now look at Baldwin, who went off injured.
Yes.
The only thing I would say is that there's been a few grumbles that he might have lost the dressing room. I don't think that performance was a team that have stopped and down tools. I would say we are in a position now where even if we weren't to make the playoffs, you ask a player next season, do you want to play for a team that finished the season well and finished sort of 8th or 9th? And now you're going to be looking at asking players, do you want to join a team that finished the season on a horrific run? I know there's a long way to go, and have finished 18th. All of a sudden, the quality of players you can attract, the contracts extensions you can offer, the attendances, dare I say it, will start to fall.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think that's a bit too soon to say, to be honest. I think, look, you look at our goal scoring, it's there.
It's not at the minute though.
Yeah, it's not at the minute, but it has been. We can score goals. I think we've scored the most goals in the AFL. I'm not sure about after today now. I don't know how close someone was behind us. But for me, if you're going out, you're trying to get a defender or goalkeeper, you're saying to them, look, we can score goals. We need you to come in and help us stop conceding them. So there is a flip side to that, but I mean, time will tell. But January recruitment at this moment in time,
it's just Scott Robertson.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah. So we'll sort of collect our thoughts. We'll be back on Thursday for another live Pavis Perspective episode. So yeah, join us there. Get your thoughts in. Drop your thoughts in the comments here. If you did go to the game, or if you indeed listened, how did it sound on the radio? And as always, please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.